a couple of open positions. Obviously, we reduced and trimmed our positions down. A lot of people asked me, why did we trim the positions down? There were two simple reasons. We were long on Bank of Maharashtra, that was up 4%. Ramco Cements was up 4%. Lemon Tree was up 3%. All the positions that I had, they were up 3-4% yesterday. But I have to ensure that my clients and all my traders are protected, because I can't bet that BJP will win and everything good will happen. So because of the Ukraine, Russia thingy, plus Donald Trump, and then China counter, their tariff wala scene, and then political uncertainty couldn't have took a lot of chances, and the markets were very weak. But we took two positions yesterday. I think Mastec and Bajaj Finserv. I think both of them will explode on Monday, and they will give good returns. And then from Monday onwards, we'll start aggressively going long. And I think the markets are finally back to where we wanted them to be. So I think it's good news for everybody. So that's the view of the market. I personally feel there are a lot of stocks that are available at very good valuations. I will be coming out with a research note on which stocks to accumulate based on the recent fall. And these are good. And the best thing that you can do is just load up on some mutual funds, right? Mid cap mutual funds, just load up on them. Maybe some lump sum investment of 50,000 or 1 lakh or whatever amount is comfortable for you. Just do that, right? Because the valuations are very reasonable now, and all the speculation about are the Indian markets overvalued, that debate has ended now, right? And Chinese tech companies reported during the markets. I think you might know that there was this trade by the institutions, buy China, sell India. Anyone knows about this? For the last 1.5 months, buy China, sell India. Like that was the trade that was happening. Now the China thing is gone, right? With even stimulus being, tech companies' ka earnings were very bad. So that's the case. Now, on the earnings front, right? Don't expect the market in the next 3 months to reach an all-time high. So let me set the expectations straight. The market will not touch a new all-time high in the next 3 months, but in the next 6 months it will. And why am I saying this? The quarterly earnings this quarter were weak. How many of you are aware of this? Quarterly earnings for 7 out of 10 stocks were weak, very weak, right? And businesses were down. You can't expect that the next quarter will suddenly something will change. Yes, travel and tourism companies, they will have a good quarter. Auto companies can have a spectacular quarter, because most purchases usually happen around the last 2-3 months, right? So, sorry, hotel stocks will do well, or maybe some travel tourism stocks, they will do well. Maybe some auto names can do well. Apart from that, cyclicality is not there. But the quarter after this is where the revival will happen. So, from an investing perspective, I think it's a good time to keep accumulating stocks right now. And I will give you my favorite list on stocks that I like. And that's the overall view of the market. Now, with respect to Adani's, um, okay, someone said, what about Adani? So the thing is, Adani's will be in trouble. So I'll tell you, it's a very simple geopolitical play, right? Joe Biden is a supporter of. So I hope all of you understand that Joe Biden's party is like Congress in India, and Donald Trump's party is like BJP in America. How many of you know this? Right now, I am not saying I support BJP or I support Congress or I support someone. I am just telling you what, according to me, is happening. Joe Biden is going away in 4 months, right? He wants to make Donald Trump's tenure problematic. Okay. And that is the reason he asked Ukraine to use the missiles. 6 months tak Ukraine did not dare to fire a missile to Russia. And suddenly they had the audacity to fire a missile in Russia. Doesn't it make any logical sense? Like, do you think there's a logic? 6 mahine tak kuch nahi gaya, and suddenly missile fired, backed by America. Doesn't make sense, right? So, and Putin knows that if Trump comes, Trump will solve this, because Putin and Trump, they have a good tuning. So that is what's happening. And then the Chinese tariffs will come into play, because Donald Trump hates China. So basically, um, what's happening is 2 months of political drama is happening, but this will eventually stabilize. So all of this has no relationship to India, but Indian earnings itself were a little bad, slightly bad. They were not very bad, they were slightly bad, but our markets were factoring in very big growth. India is still the best growth story of the world. And by the time FIIs come back, Mr. Ramdev Agarwal, founder of Motilal Oswal, he was just saying by the time FIIs come back, Nifty maybe 30,000. And I absolutely believe with him. So as a trader, you have to look at it very tactically, that unless and until the markets are sustaining and you are finding high relative strength stocks, be bullish. There is no point of being overly bearish because the worst is already gone. So, and since the election results are also out, so every, every, bad news is factored in as far as Nifty is concerned. And Nifty is currently underperforming world equities because American markets have reached an all-time high because of Nvidia's results, Donald Trump coming in. So now Indian markets will play catch up. So as a trader, I think from a swing trader perspective, lots of stocks available at order blocks. Get your positioning right, and I think you'll be good. Risk management at the highest priority. Um, Nifty can move without FIIs, right? You have to understand one thing. Nifty can move to 30K without FIIs easily, right? The domestic flows are very strong. FPI flows are also decent. FIIs may not come. See, the thing is, the FIIs are heavily invested in financials of Nifty, right? Meaning the HDFC banks of the world, all the PSU banks. So they are heavily invested in financials. FIIs have pulled out money, and they've pulled out so much money that India Nifty should have been down 25%. They're not short. They will cover their shorts, Aniket. Tomorrow you see Nifty probably 500 points again tomorrow. So now they will cover their shorts. And you have to understand that if you look at any big interviews of the biggest fund managers of foreign institutional investing companies like BlackRock, Vanguard, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, anyone, right? They're saying it was just a tactical allocation to get rid of some companies. Now you have to understand, you guys are students of liquidity. If FIIs want to sell 5 lakh crores of shares, or let's say 2 lakh crores of selling they want to do, and they don't have people who are buying that much, prices will fall hard, right? But domestic institutions have been able to absorb, and for now, I think the stage is set for FIIs to come back, right? Now it's not that यहाँ पर बेचा फिर यहाँ पर आ गए, ऐसा नहीं करेंगे. Maybe this move will be taken up by the DIIs, and then this is where FIIs come back and then take it higher, right? So again, I'm not here to predict FIIs कब आएंगे और कब नहीं आएंगे. I don't know. If they want to come, they will come. If they don't want to come, they don't come. I don't care about that. What I care about is there are quality mid cap stocks with the right technical setup. I think they can outperform, and our goal is to take advantage of that, right? So that is something that we will focus on now. As of now, if you look at Nifty's chart, I don't know if it was your batch or it was some other batch. I had earlier created this breaker block over here, and Nifty basically reacted from that. And the good part is that Nifty has covered almost all the possible gaps that were there, right? All the imbalances are filled. This imbalance was pre-filled over there. So right now the price is back in an equilibrium. Right? A breaker block is nothing but the reversal of an order block. So when an order block fails, right? So what is happening here? Think about it, okay? What's happening here, right? This was an order block, bearish order block, and this bearish order block failed and then retested and then converted into a bullish order block. Yes or no? Can I have a yes in the chat? I'll just switch off my video for a while. I need the entire screen to myself. So I'll just hide my video for a while. Right? I will tell you, say, Priyo Bose, I will teach you which strategy to follow when. Right now, just understand what's happening in Nifty right now, okay? So this was a breaker block. It failed, it got retested, and then a new impulsive move got created. Price came back over here in this region, and now Nifty is starting to react. Now, if you go to a smaller time frame, all you can see is Nifty swept liquidity here. So I've told you multiple times in your previous classes also, if we create a lower low and then immediately create a higher high, this is a high reversal chance. Now, if based on the election result, since we are all expecting Nifty to probably open at least 200-300 points gapping up, it can easily, if Nifty opens here, Nifty can easily I mean, I'm not even kidding. Nifty can easily reach 24,900 in like 2 days, right? Very, very quick. Very, very quick. And Nifty has done that in the past, right? Whenever Nifty falls hard, it covers back like faster, right? So now what I feel is this gap, and the next area of supply, which I feel is going to be the massive supply for Nifty, which Nifty probably may not be able to break out of, is the 25,000 ke upar wala region. Is that clear? So now this is a playing paradise for bulls, right? They have about 1,300, 1,400 points to play with, right? Which can probably come with big gap ups and then continuation. And then we may stay in a range. Why will we stay in a range? Because unless and until earnings improve, Nifty is a combination of the top 50 stocks of India, right? So unless and until earnings improve, this thing will not go up. Or Nirmala Sitharaman is proposing a income tax regime change, right? So if that happens, maybe that becomes a trigger. But we are not really interested in Nifty that much, but we are more interested in individual stocks. Make sense? निफ्टी तो मोमेंटम सेंटिमेंट के लिए है निफ्टी, राइट? निफ्टी को वैसे भी इफ निफ्टी गैप्स अप, सॉरी, इफ निफ्टी इज गैपिंग अप 300 पॉइंट्स, डू यू हैव अ ट्रेड इन निफ्टी टुमारो? जस्ट टेल मी वन थिंग, अगर कल निफ्टी 300 पॉइंट गैप अप कर रहा है, योर ट्रेड इज ऑलरेडी गॉन. डू यू अग्री विद मी और नॉट? If Nifty gaps up 300, 400 points, where will you take your trade? Right? Your entries are gone. So the entries will definitely come in equities, right? So now what you, I'm already, I know, I know that, majority of us are long, but I'm just telling, what if you're not long, right? You can definitely invest in mutual funds. See, mutual funds are definitely one of the best asset classes in the world. So you should definitely do it, right? So now what I am looking at, and how exactly I would perceive things, is I will first find the strongest stocks. Now, can anyone tell me how can I how can I find stocks that are outperforming in the quickest way possible? Can anyone tell me? Like if I want to find outperforming stocks from the top 1,000 stocks of the index. So Aniket is saying top gainers, heat map, volume. Okay, very good. Mohit, heat map is the right answer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up the heat map, right? I'm just going to click stocks. I hope I've taught this to you pehle, right? I've told this, right? Relative strength calculate करने के लिए best thing is this, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to change my universe to all Indian companies. Then I will click on my filter, and I only want the top 800 companies in India. Now, anyone can tell me why am I only choosing top 800 companies in India? Can you give me an answer? Hmm. Market cap, okay. Can I say liquidity? Because otherwise I'll not be able to trade it, right, properly. This is trading view only, Mr. Junaid. This is the desktop version of TradingView, right? So I'll just remove this. I don't need sector classifications. And now what I'll do is I want to see last 1 month performance. Fair enough. Last 1 month mein which stocks have outperformed. And now, since there are so many stocks, I will make the multiplier 5x. So I don't want, I just want these stocks. These are my top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So about 80, 85, top 85 to 90 stocks I have on my screen. Does it make sense? Yes or no? Can all of you do this on your own? Hardly takes less than a minute. Now, if you want to further filter out, you can just click on 10 and then find the best of the best, right? Please do it again. Okay. So what you have to do is you will first, okay, I'll repeat. Okay. You'll go to the heat map thing, click on stocks. Okay. Once you do it, by default, you will see the American index. Okay. So I don't want to scan American stocks. So I will click here and I will click on all Indian companies. If you want to do it for Nifty 500, you can do for that also, but I want to do it for all Indian companies. I click on all Indian companies. Okay. and I only want the top 800 companies by market cap. So I will adjust the filter so that I see 806 matches. Okay. Is that okay? Is everyone with me? Those who had doubts? Once I click on OK, now I have the top 800 stocks of India. Right? Now I will click on sector because I don't want any grouping. Trading view mein, there is a problem. Their grouping is very broad based. So for example, within finance, they are including insurance companies also. They are including, real estate companies also. They are including consumer lending companies also. They are including banks also. So do you think finance as a category doesn't work for me? If they were making it public sector companies, PSU banks, private banks separately, insurance companies separately, it would have been more helpful for me. So on Strike, you can do it with subsector categorization. I hope you are aware of that, right? When in Strike, if you go to sectors and you click on banks, it will show you PSU banks, it will show you private banks. If you click on insurance, it will show you general insurance companies, it will show you life insurance companies, it will show you other insurance companies. How to filter the companies to top 800? If I click on scroll, I will get 400 or even less companies filtered out. Okay, so what you have to do is, when you change this, right, so just zoom out your screen. If you're doing it from Google Chrome na, Google Chrome में कर रहे हो ना, तो जो Google Chrome पे zoom वाला feature होता है ना, I'll just show it to you. 1 second. Can you see Google Chrome right now? Just zoom out to 80% or 90%. Can you see it? Just zoom out to 80-90% and then इसको scroll करके देखो. This is a glitch. It's a छोटा सा glitch है trading का. थोड़ा zoom out करके try करो. You will basically get your 800 companies. Is that okay? Got it? So it's a glitch. I mean, I can't really help it. So now, once this is done, I don't want any. Okay, how many of you understood why TradingView ka sector grouping is not helpful for me? Is that understood? So that you understand, you need to know subsectors that will do well, not broad sectors, right? For example, if I want to know in pharma, if you say pharma is bullish, this statement makes no sense to a trader. Either you say, companies which are in biotechnology, they are doing well, or companies which are in, let's say, um, EPG formulation, or companies which are in some XYZ industry, then it makes sense. Or for example, if I'm talking about non-energy minerals, अरे non-energy minerals बोल के कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा. या तो मुझे बताओ सीमेंट स्टॉक्स कौन से कर रहे हैं, मेटल स्टॉक्स कौन से कर रहे हैं, एनर्जी स्टॉक्स कौन से कर रहे हैं. Individually you tell me, then it makes sense to me. Otherwise, this doesn't make sense. So that's the reason I'm clicking on no group. Okay, so I've removed all the grouping, and then now I am changing the structure of the tiles, because right now I am not even able to see all of them. So what I've done is I've made them all equal size. Now, once all the equal size is made, now I want to only focus on the top, outperforming stocks. But because I have 800 stocks, I will change the multiplier. मतलब अगर अभी मैं करूंगा ना, तो जो भी स्टॉक्स 3% से ऊपर है, अगर मैंने सिर्फ इसको क्लिक किया, तो जो भी स्टॉक्स 3% से ज्यादा परफॉर्म करे हैं, टॉप 3% ऑफ द इंटायर यूनिवर्स, इट विल शो मी. मुझे नहीं चाहिए स्टॉक्स जो पूरे महीने में 2% या 3% या 1% बढ़े. What I want is I'll change the multiplier to 5 times. Now, if I click on -15%, it will show me the worst of the worst stocks. Okay, this is okay. So sorry, I was not able to change one thing. So I did not change the performance. तो अभी यहाँ ना daily performance पे set है. So what I'll do is I'll change it to monthly performance. And now if I remove all of this, it will show me stocks that are the top 3 percentile of this entire universe. So now what I will do is I will change this to a 5x multiplier. So now if I deselect everything, this -15% is not telling me stocks that are lower than 15%. It is telling me that whichever stocks are the worst of the worst, they're showcased to me here. So now can you see that majority of the companies over here have had a negative catalyst. What is a negative catalyst? For example, can you see Adani Group companies here? Adani का negative catalyst तो जो अभी उनका problem चल रहा है with American legal councils, whatever. Then you can see there are companies which have not reported good earnings. They are a part of this entire ecosystem. So gas companies are there. So you recently saw MGL, IGL, all of them performed very, very badly. So now you know that, okay, these companies I have to stay away from. right? So just have a look at it. I want to just stay away from these companies. Now, if I remove this and I open the top 15%, now this will tell me the best of the best companies over here. So now what I can see is National Aluminium, Walk Pharma, Deepak Fertilizer, Ramco Cements, Rainbow Hospitals. I can see Samman Capital, which was Dhani, B Box, Black Box. We have got CCL, we've got Banco India, which is up 70%. Bondada, we've got Gokul Agro, we've got Sky Gold, Manorma, Paradeep Phosphates, we've got Jupiter Lifeline Hospitals, we've got Swan Energy, we've got Piramal Pharma, we've got Loris Labs, we've got Paytm, we've got Coforge, Fortis, etc., etc. Now I want to increase my universe a little bit, right? Then I'll click on 10%, right? So this is 1 month performance ke basis per. Then you can do a 3 month ka, you can do a weekly performance also, right? It's not versus Nifty. It's Akshay. It's total month ka performance bata raha hai. Like आज से 30 days पहले का. Is that okay? Now, why am I showing this to you? This is a quick filter to add all of these stocks in a watch list individually. Make sense? इन सारे स्टॉक्स को ट्रेडिंग व्यू को जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल ये आपने करा ना, सो साइड में ट्रेडिंग व्यू खोल के फॉर एग्जांपल मैंने यहाँ वॉच लिस्ट खोल दिया एंड व्हाट आई हैव डन इज आई हैव क्रिएटेड अ लिस्ट. ओके, क्रिएट अ न्यू लिस्ट. आउट परफॉर्मर्स, व्हाट आई विल राइट इज आउट परफॉर्मर्स नवंबर 2024. मेक सेंस? मैंने ये लिख दिया. Now what I can do is I think TradingView gives me a way to add all of them together to a watch list. I don't know how to do that. Copy link. I don't know. There is a way in which I could have done that, but what I will quickly do is I'll just quickly add all of these stocks here one by one. It will probably take me like a minute or two to add all of them. I'll just this is just an exercise that you can do, not today, not right now, but in general you can just do this exercise. I'll ask one of my team members to do it and then share this list with you. Make sense? I'm not doing the entire thing right now. It's just it's gonna take Chetan, they have already moved, I know, but they are relatively stronger than the overall market, right? So in stocks mein koi setup mere ko milta hai, so I will prioritize that over something else. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Yes or no? Are you understanding? So Chetan, right? So, and one more thing, I can figure out which sectors have been outperforming, right? So if I see IT companies, like for example, I can see a couple of IT companies here. For example, Apple is an IT company. Then I can see Zensar Tech, which is a defense cum IT company. Then I can see KFintech, which is a fintech company. Then I can see, let's say, Persistent, which is an IT company. Then I can see eClearX, which is an IT company. Then I can see some hospital stocks. So Vijaya Diagnostics is an hospital stock. I can see that. So I and then I have Jupiter Lifeline Hospitals. Then I have Mastech at 18%. अब मेरे को पता है कि Mastech outperforming stock है, and Mastech अभी weekly breakout के verge पे है. So shouldn't I prioritize that over anything else that I'm getting? Right? That's my objective here. Right? So like this, you can at least have a broad understanding. See, SR, most these stocks will not have OBs. These stocks will probably have a pre-breakout VCP kind of a structure. If you pulled out all money from the mutual funds, I mean, you can add them back, not a problem. See, I'll tell you one thing, Aman. Never try to time mutual fund investments. Okay. म्यूचुअल फंड्स बने ही इसलिए है कि आप उनमें प्लस माइनस नहीं करें, राइट? सो जस्ट मेक इट अ लेसन इन लाइफ. नो मैटर व्हाट हैपेंस, डोंट पुल मनी आउट ऑफ म्यूचुअल फंड्स, राइट? यू विल नेवर बी एबल टू क्रिएट वेल्थ अगर आप म्यूचुअल फंड्स में एक्टिव मैनेजमेंट ज्यादा करने का सोचेंगे, बिकॉज इट्स प्रैक्टिकली इम्पॉसिबल फॉर यू टू टाइम द मार्केट, राइट? एंड म्यूचुअल फंड्स में जस्ट हैव अ रूल टू नेवर विड्रॉ, no matter what happens. Just put that much money which you will never need in your life, right? So सुखजिंदर, आप इसको कभी भी स्कैन कर सकते हो. You can scan them anytime. So, see, what I'm trying to do is I personally don't use this heat map a lot of times if I am doing extensive research. So if you don't have the time to do extensive research, you can just have a broad list of companies in your watch list, and then And then what you can do is, you can focus on these stocks whenever they are giving a setup. You can definitely figure that out. Otherwise, even while studying which sectors these companies come from, you can have a good idea that, okay, any other company forming a setup from the same sector, I can prioritize them, right? So that's the entire goal of this. So now once that this is done, this is like the quickest way to understand which companies have been outperforming the market over the last 1 month. You can also see for the last 3 months, which will again give you a better perspective, right? So now you can see that over the last 3 months, these are your best of the best stocks which have outperformed in the markets. Majority of them are small caps and mid caps, but you can see that these were the winning stocks of the last 3 months. So you can understand. And now another thing that you can study is why was BSE up. So you can figure out every single stock was related to some of the other catalysts that was coming. For example, Amber Enterprises, right? um, I hope you know that next year India is expecting a AC shortage because America is moving away from all other Chinese manufacturers. So Amber Enterprises from India, then there is Voltus, and then there are Dixon, which are making semiconductors. All of them will be the biggest beneficiaries, and that's the reason these stocks are up. So you can literally Google about why these companies are up, and you can figure out why this particular thing is this. Now, also, for example, if you don't have a lot of time understanding this, I will just give you a bonus advice. So, for example, if you are a swing trader, you need to know which are the catalysts that can move stocks big time. Do you agree? As a swing trader, even if you have missed these moves, but if you know what led to these moves, it can help you understand that next time it happens with any other stock, I can take advantage of that. For example, if I want to find why is let's say KRN heat exchangers up 64%. This is also from the AC thing. To put a Naveen, what I'm trying to say is I have currently selected all those top performing stocks of the last 3 months. Are you fine with me, Mr. Naveen? So now what I'm saying is, Aman, what I'm trying to say is, if you know the reasons why these stocks moved, the next time any other stock, not these, any other stock has a similar catalyst. And let's say the day the catalyst comes up, the stock is up 5%. Usually what happens is we people feel that, okay, अब तो ये 5% ऊपर चला गया, अब इसको क्या buy करें? How many of you agree with this? That sometimes we get a catalyst on a stock that very good earnings are posted by the company, right? And उस दिन वो 5% up होता है. So that day we feel that, अब तो 5% भागे, अब क्या लेंगे इसको? But after 1 month, if the stock is up 80%, that 5% was nothing, right? Are you understanding? That 5% was literally nothing. सो इन हाइंडसाइट यू फील कि 5% बढ़े हुए को भी खरीद लेता तो 80-70% में से कुछ भी थोड़ा बहुत मूव भी मेरे को मिलता तो 20-25% मूव तो मिल ही जाता. सो व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से इज, लेट्स से इफ आई वांट टू फाइंड आउट व्हाई इज KRN heat exchangers up 64%. So what I will do is I will just open a new tab in Google and I will just go to ChatGPT. Okay, I'm just telling you a simple thing for beginners, right? This is what you can do. I'll just go to ChatGPT and I will just click on try chat GPT. And are you all able to see my screen? Just to confirm, क्या मेरा screen दिख रहा है? 1 minute. Okay, so I'll just write, why is KRN heat exchangers up 66%? So now, since this is chat GPT, you have to write KRN heat exchangers stock up 66%, right? Okay. So now you can basically, this is a simple way to do it. I'm not saying just use ChatGPT to do all of that stuff, but you can basically see that this is basically the main reason. So the AC market in India is boosting. It's growing very very rapidly, and that's the reason basically. It had good quarterly earnings. So now you can also see what were the articles that this particular thing tried to search on, and then you can basically try to have a good idea. So similarly, I can just write why is Banco India um, up hun- uh, up even when the market is falling. Explain in detail. I can just write this. Okay, so now when you search all of this, you can basically again get a decent idea, and then based on what you search, it will basically give you at least a decent idea. Now for example, this is a rubbish answer that it is given, right? So now I can make my question a little better. The reason I'm teaching this to you is you can basically not rely on anyone else, and you can do it yourself. For example, I can see Banco India. I could see Banco somewhere here, 66%, right? So I'll just write, why is Banco India up 66%. Um, Explain in detail. I can just restructure my question, and you can basically see the same answer, but in a different way. So the way this is free chat GPT. This is not a premium, whatever, 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 right? So you can just basically read all of that. It'll hardly take you 3 minutes, and you'll understand that, okay, if there was a major thing. So for example, Banco reported exceptional earnings growth in its recent quarterly results. Net profit surged over 100% quarter on quarter, reflecting improved operational efficiency and robust demand in primary markets. The company's EBITDA margins have expanded, highlighting its ability to manage cost effectively. As a key supplier of engine cooling systems and other products to automotive in global manufacturing, whatever, growing demand for energy efficient products and increased industrial automation have created tailwinds for the company's offering. Blah 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 blah. Understood? Is everyone with me? Is everyone with me? This is like the simplest way to find out why a stock is up. And then if you want to go into detail, and if you have some time, what you can do is another thing, which I don't recommend to all of you, but I'll just explain, this if you want to. If you are a person who likes research, you can just go to screener.in, a free website, go to Banco products. Okay. Now, when you go down, you will see, when you scroll down, you can see that, there is, for example, the recent, just give me a minute. Over here, you will be able to see the recent um, documents, which are nothing but uh, the recent PDFs that the company basically posts, either the financial year report or the quarterly earnings report. So, for example, over here you can see quarterly results, and I go to September quarter. I'll click on this PDF. Okay, can you all see this? Yes or no? My screen is very small. Okay, can you see this? I've just downloaded a PDF. What I'll do is I'll download this, and let's say I've saved it over here. Then I go back to ChatGPT. I click on the file, upload it, and I'll just say summarize this document in brief. Okay, can you all see this? So I've just put this up. Now see this. Okay, so this basically, and if I want, it can basically, now for example, this has just briefed it for me, and now I will say explain section 1 financial results in detail. Okay. Now it will basically show you everything that you need to know. And if there are further details that you need on a particular thing, it will basically give that to you. So again, what you can do is you can utilize technology in such a way that you can, so for example, over here, you can see that these are just normal results that they have, given. But what you can do, there is another document called their uh, uh, post investor presentation. I don't know if you know this or not. For swing traders, these documents are very, very important. So you can basically click on, just Google a simple thing, Banco India investor presentation. Okay, Banco India, just give me a minute. Just write this. This is very, very powerful, right? So Banco India Investor Relations, just click on this, and then if you go to their website, you will basically find out the PDF of if they had any investor presentations. Usually, most companies have. If you are able to find out, for example, if I just uh, you know um, you know find this out, you will be able to understand how to identify all of this, right? So you can use all of these techniques if you want to find out which companies are doing well, if you want to get into the reason. Just because someone asked, I was just trying to explain that, this is how you can do it, even if you have no idea about financials or earnings. Now, let's understand what exactly should be the game plan for you now. So, first set of things that is the markets right now are in this territory. How many of you agree? The markets are currently in this set, or we are basically here. Okay. So now, if you're here, there are very few stocks that are going to give you this kind of a structure, because this is a structure that you usually get when the bull markets are completely active. So just to give you an example, if I open the top large cap companies and I go to their daily chart, just have a look at which stocks are coming over here. So if you look at Paytm is one of those names which is outperforming. If you look at Naukri, if you look at Phoenix, and what I usually like to do is just put the 20 period EMA while you are scanning, right? It will help you identify a lot of good names. So for example, Lotus Labs is approaching a high. So for me, this is a relatively strong stock, although I will not be able to buy this because the stock has already moved, but I will keep this on my radar, right? Similarly, what I'll do is I'll just do quick scans, right? I'll just do quick scan. Now, this is Titan. Now, anyone remembers, I had put up a thing 7 days back on that Titan is approaching an order block, may plan a trade. So at that time, Titan just approached this area. It didn't really give me an entry because of this choppiness, but then it finally moved. So what you can do is you can just keep scrolling down, and just find out. So for example, this is a stock called Global Health, Medanta. Now, did we see hospital stocks do well? I want a yes or a no answer. अभी मैंने आपको ये heat map दिखाया, उसमें विजया डायग्नोस्टिक्स देखा, we saw Fortis, we saw Jupiter Lifeline Hospitals, right? So now this hospital stock, which was earlier an outperformer, comes back to the order block. So, right, this is the area of its weekly order block, comes back here, and Rainbow, very good, Geetika, and Rainbow also, right? So now it comes back here, and now it's creating a nice structure with the volume dry up. Should this stock be on your watch list? Yes or no? It definitely should be, right? So I'll just mark this yellow. And now if I get a trading opportunity here, maybe a long position here. Now, if I see that if I try to protect this swing, my stop loss is very big. So I'll try to just go to the hourly chart and see if I can see a optimal entry opportunity. Now, the problem is, if I try to enter here, I'm literally entering in the lion's den. There's lots of liquidity, lots of supply. So what I would rather wait is let it try to consolidate a contract here on a smaller time frame. Let it build the launch pad on maybe a 15-minute time frame, and then I will execute. Fair enough? So now I will not immediately enter here. I could have immediately entered if my daily chart was not giving me a 10% stop loss. See, it doesn't really matter if there are 3 or 4 touch points, right? For a perfect classical VCP, you only need 3 areas of interest, which it has already created. Now, the problem, Geetika, is I am getting my setup, right? I'm getting my setup. But the problem is, I would really like this to happen so that I can keep this as my stop loss. बिकॉज अभी ना मेरे पास कोई रेफरेंस पॉइंट नहीं है स्टॉप लॉस रखने के लिए. गीतिका, यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग? When if I buy here, the setup is good, the stock is good, but my stock, I have to protect this. I will have to protect this. And if I start protecting this, I have a 9-10% stop. So for me to make money, the stock has to go up 30%. Geetika and everybody else. What if it jumps and never consolidates? Vivek, in that case, I miss the stock. Vivek, in that case, I will miss the stock. Acha, what if in the entire universe सिर्फ यही एक stock है जो मेरा अच्छा setup बना रहा है? In that case, I will not miss it. In that case, I will enter it right there and then with a wider stop loss and then adjust my position. Vivek, are you understanding? So what I will do is I know that okay, if in the entire universe, पूरे stock market में मेरे को इससे better setup नहीं मिल रहा, I'm not getting a better setup than this. In that case, what I'll do is I will create a position over here, right? Let's say I buy this and uh, uh, for example this, and this is my trade, right? So now I know for me to make money, if I buy here, it has to come back and test liquidity here, which is my best case scenario. And if this happens, I'll be able to make a 2.5 hour risk reward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter with, let's say, 0.5 hour size, right? So let's say I enter with a 0.5 hour over here. Now if it moves up from here, I do nothing. But if it comes back down, contracts and gives me another setup, I may add another 0.25 hour, making my risk 0.75 hour, and my adjusted average price could probably be this, and my risk reward will become slightly better. And then I can probably try to play this. And ये जो 0.25 hour का मैंने trade लिया है यहाँ पर, उसका stop loss will not be this. उसका stop loss will be this. So I'll just keep this as a stop loss. So I'll keep this. So I have two trades running within one trade. One is this. So 0.25 hour wala position mein I will make 5 hour. So 5 into 0.25 hour is, let's say, 1 hour approximately I make on my added position. And on the 0.5 hour, I make about 2.5 hour. So let's say I make 1.25 hour over there. So combined, I was able to increase my returns by about 50-60% just by adding this 0.25 hour position. How many of you understood this? पूरे 0.75 आर का नहीं लूंगा ना मैं, because if I'm adding, see, why will I, Manjunath, why will I add here? Because I'm expecting a move to happen. If I add my quantity here and then this happens, I don't want to stay in the stock. I want to cross, I want to exit it here itself. I don't want this swing low to be broken at all. So Rajkumar, this is just one way of creating the trade idea. This is called dynamic trade management. Okay, so I told you I have two options. Either I can take an entry here. I will repeat. Okay, I have two options. Either I can take an entry here. Now can you tell me what is the problem with taking the entry here? That my stop loss is a little wider. Is that clear to all of you? My stop loss is about 9% from the entry price, so this is a little wide. Now, I'm not saying it's bad, but for me to make money, the stock has to move up 30%. And this, in this market situation or condition, it can happen. But I feel that, if I have a slightly better entry price, I would have been happy. So the most optimal thing for me would have been if this pulls back here, contracts a little over here, gives me an entry over here, and my stop loss could be protecting this swing low. So overall adjusted risk reward would have been increased. Is that fine? This is my optimal entry that I want, but the market will not run behind me. Right? Understood? The contraction should obviously be on a smaller time frame, not on the 4 hour, but maybe on a 15-minute. But what I am doing is I don't want to miss this stock also. So what I will do is I will create my initial position with the exact entry that I'm getting and the SL that I should keep. Correct? Is that okay? Right now, you can't keep the SL over here. Right now, you can't keep it. I'll tell you why. Because if the price comes here, takes your stop loss, and then starts moving, you will not make a mistake in this trade, but the next trade that you take, you will try to recreate what you wanted to achieve in this trade, in the other trade, and oversize and make other mistakes. How many of you are understanding what I'm trying to say? Basically, अगर आपको यहाँ से निकाला गया and then you are why you not wait for breakout for follow up. See, breakout होने के बाद फिर मेरे को again my risk reward will be bad ना, then I will probably enter here. That's a separate story, Prakhar. What I'm trying to say is, does it happen with you that when you are stopped out of a trade because of you not putting an appropriate stop loss, and then the stock moves higher, you get FOMO? Do you get it? Like, do you have you experienced this? कि आपने छोटे स्टॉप लॉस के चक्कर में वो पूरा ट्रेड आइडिया मिस कर दिया, एंड in fact you booked a loss, and then it moves higher, then you try to take revenge by oversizing in some other trade. Do you do it? Now understand, not putting a proper stop loss here is impacting this trade also, and it is impacting the next trade that you are taking also without you realizing it, right? So I want to understand is, for a VCP trader, for me, what is the most important pivot? The last swing low, right? How many of you understand this? For a VCP trader, if I'm buying here, I have to protect this ना, because जब तक ये protected है, मेरा VCP intact है, right? तब तक ये move कर सकता है. Understood? How many of you are with me? Structurally, can I say unless and until this swing low is protected, my trade can work out? So what's the point of giving this as a stop? But when I am entering here, I'm entering on a smaller time frame. When I'm entering here, I'm entering on a smaller time frame. In that case, this will make sense. So that's the reason I told you that my initial position will be a 0.5 hour. And then if it contracts, and if the markets are good and other hospital stocks are doing well, I will add another position of 2.5 hour risk. That 2.5 hour risk cut trade will look like this. I will enter here, and my stop loss will just protect this. Now, why am I keeping a smaller stop loss? Because I am adding my position here because I'm confident it will go up. Do you agree? Why am I adding here? I'm not adding to average. अरे average price मेरा buy का यही है, तो यहाँ buy करने से मेरा average अच्छा नहीं हो रहा है. How many of you are understanding this? Can I have a yes? अरे बाबा, अगर यहाँ पर आएगा buy करूंगा तो average होगा, right? If the price comes down, then it will average out my price, right? So over here, I'm not buying to average. Over here, I'm trying to time the move with a little more size. Are you with me? So now when I'm doing that, I don't want to risk the entire thing, because this is kind of my confirmation. So I only want to protect this last swing on a smaller time frame. So I'll keep a smaller stop loss, but my target for the 0.25 hour position will also be the same. Does it make sense? तो मैं 0.25 आवर वाले ट्रेड में 1:5 टारगेट कर सकता हूं, एंड इन माय ओरिजिनल ट्रेड आई कैन टारगेट 1:2.5. सो इफ यू मल्टीप्लाई 0.5 आवर into 2.5 plus 0.25 hour into 5, what you will see is I am making 1.25 hour in this position also, and then I'm making 1.25 hour in the other position also, with a relatively lower risk. How many of you are understanding? If it goes directly down, अच्छा, अगर ये directly यहीं से नीचे आ गया, तो मैं तो 0.5 hour को negative 0.5 hour ले लूंगा, and I will close the case. How many of you are with me? What if there is a big red candle here? I will take the stop loss and exit. So what's my worst case scenario on this trade? What is my worst case scenario? Can you tell me? My worst case is this. What if I add 0.25 hour and then it hits my stop loss? Then my worst case is this. My general case scenario, that after taking an entry, it suddenly skyrockets to the target. I will still make 3 times of what I've risked, which is 1.5 hour. And if I add and my trade works out, I will make 2.5 hour. So now you tell me, I have my worst and my best case scenarios with me. That's the probability that I'm trying to play. Sayed, in that case, if it comes down and it hits your stop loss, the 0.25 hour position will be out, but you will not exit the 0.5 hour position, because the 0.5 hour position was taken with this as a stop loss. सैयद अहमद इज आस्किंग कि अगर ये 0.25 आवर वाला एसएल हिट हो गया तो दोनों एग्जिट करेंगे क्या? नहीं, आप दोनों एग्जिट नहीं करोगे, क्योंकि ऐसा हो सकता है ना कि आपका जजमेंट ऑफ द कॉन्फर्मेशन इज रॉन्ग बट योर ओवरऑल ट्रेड इज राइट. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर विद मी? See, you have to understand one thing, right? As institutional traders, as professional traders, you will always know that from this point, the stock can reach here with a 75% accuracy. But you don't know whether the stock will go down first, then go up, whether the stock will contract and then go up, whether the stock will directly go up, come down, and then go up. The path will never be known to us. Junaid, are you understanding? I will never be able to know the path. I know it can travel from here to here with a 70% win rate. And if I keep this as my stop loss, my win rate will be 70%. But if I try to keep my stop loss very tight, my win rate will drop. The accuracy of success will drop. I hope you're understanding. I am just giving this example so that anytime you have a confusion, you can try to manage your trade like this. Is that okay with everybody? So coming back to the point, this is my 1 day chart of this stock called Global Health Medanta. I like it, right? And then I'll just quickly come down to Infi. I'll come to TCS. अभी देखो अभी Tata Consumer पे मैं आया. Tata Consumer is another FMCG stock. I don't know if it's trading at an order block or not, but what I can see is you can see a Medanta like VCP over here. Can you spot it? How many of you can see Medanta Global Health like VCP here? Can anyone spot it? Can anyone? Then it consolidates for a while and then the move comes up, right? So now this stock, Tata Consumer Products, it's basically trying to trade at this little area of demand. I wouldn't really call it an order block, but this is like a good area of demand from which it is reacting. So now I again have one more trade idea which I can probably play around. But for now, if I try to follow the order block kind of a structure, my stop is again a little on the wider side, which is 6%. So I can go to a smaller time frame and check. Okay, so now I know that okay, the stock has done a displacement. Maybe I'll go on a 15-minute time frame. I've seen the displacement. Now, obviously, I know that the stock can pull back or do whatever. So what I will do is I will try to see that okay, until what point can it probably pull back, or maybe I can see some demand over here. If the price comes here and it's allowing me to enter here, I can probably take an entry, and then I can adjust my stop loss a little over here because I want to protect this low, right? Because my structure is already broken. Because if this low breaks, then my entire displacement is off, right? So you can do that also. See, VWAP is to check if you are taking a smaller time frame trade, right? And then you have got PNB, you've got JSW Steel, you've got Emphasis. So now Emphasis, if it would have come on this area, I would have liked it. You've got National Aluminium, you've got Reliance Industries. Now, be Reliance bhi abhi dekhoge, so this is an order block. Like this is a previous breaker block come order block kind of an area. Very, very important area for Reliance. And Reliance has reacted from there, and maybe Reliance can have a good action from there. LTIM, which is LTI Mindtree Power Grid. So I don't like all of that stuff. This is Bajaj Finance. So if you look at Bajaj Finance, it's a similar story. How many of you can understand what's happening in Bajaj Finance? Can anyone tell me? Yes, no? It's a much wider order block, but it is a decent order block from which it is trying to react, right? Then HCL Tech. This is what is called a outperforming name. It's trading at a fresh all-time high while the markets are trading wherever. And this is another, you know, VCP kind of a structure, which is probably, not a picture perfect one, but it is what, this is what it is trying to do. So you can keep this on your radar also, which is HCL Tech. Then you go to JICRI, which is General Insurance Corporation of India. Then you scroll down, then you go to JK Cement, then you go to this, you go to this, you go to this, you go to this, which is Mahabank, right? So Mahabank is also at a pretty nice little area. And I think it can continue. Maybe if we get an opportunity, we'll try to enter tomorrow or on Monday, whatever the case is, right? Then you've got this, you've got this. So what I'm doing is I'm just quickly scanning these names, whether it's a VCP trade or whether it's an order block trade. I will just try to scan whichever comes close to my scanning criterias, I will try to trade them. For example, this is Thermax. Now this is not a picture perfect order block, but it is trading at a pretty nice location, right? Although there is some room for it to move down, so I can keep this on my radar. If there is some action, enter tomorrow matlab day after, yeah, not Sunday, Monday ko. Okay. So Canara Bank, then I can see Tech Mahindra. So now how many of you can see IT is on a roll? IT is at an all-time high, while the entire markets were literally trading at lows. How many of you can understand that? In Thermax, the problem is, uh, although this is a big displacement move that is happening, this is not a picture perfect order block because I can't see volumes in this displacement. Like the volumes are missing in this displacement. That's why it's not a picture perfect thing. Now, Tech Mahindra also tells you this is happening. Now, CG Power, how many of you are in this trade? Anyone in this trade? CG Power? I gave you a call out on CG Power, right? So again, this is also similar thing, right? Big move up, swept liquidity below all of this, filled up the imbalance, came back, and now since it is going to clear this range out, and then there is a lot of room for it to move, right? And that's how you can just keep. Now, for example, look at this. This is Hindustan Unilever. Where is it? Where is Unilever? टाटा कंज्यूमर भी ऐसा था. अब टाटा कंज्यूमर is also a FMCG stock. Hindustan Unilever is also an FMCG stock. So now you can check Godrej Consumer Products also. You can say check Colgate also. You can check Dabur also. You can check other FMCG stocks also, that if they are also forming similar structures. Okay. And so on and so forth. Now Wipro again. Now how many of you can understand why we took Mastech on Friday? Understood now. Mastech is also an IT stock. And I showed you Wipro, I showed you TechM, I showed you HCL Tech. So now while scanning, can you not directly understand which stocks and sectors are likely to outperform? Yes or no? Dixon is also trying to set up. Ashok Leyland from the Auto Pack. This is also trying to create a base. If you look at the 4-hour time frame, it's not a picture perfect thing, but I hope you are able to scan this. See, FMCG is at a very good value area, right? And IT is trading at the highest, right? So you can basically, make your checks. Then you've got ICICI Bank, Sundaram Fasteners, then you've got Coromandel International. This is a fertilizer stock. Now Paradeep Phosphates, also a fertilizer stock. You can check out all fertilizer names. ABB India, very old order block, near very old order block. It has landed up over here. What is the last red candle? It has landed up here. This is also an interesting name, very high growth stock. It is Eicher Motors, another truck company like Ashok Leyland, trying to make a base. And while you keep scanning like this, obviously the speed of scanning will eventually improve over time. Bajaj Finserv. Now I hope you've understood. How many days old OB can we consider high probability one? See, I mean, usually 1 to 3 months old OB, very very active. बट ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि इतने महीने पुराना है तो. Do you have any checklist in mind for VCP stocks? See, as I said, we are launching the new scanners which will tell you all stocks creating this structure or creating this structure. So that checklist will definitely help you because we have coded it. So that is something that I can help you with. I can able to spot VCPs in any stocks while practicing, but I'm not able to do in the live markets. I went wrong many times. I spotted VCP in the live market. How should I fix this? Mohit, first thing that I would recommend you to do is switch to a higher time frame. Don't do it on a 5 minute, 15 minute. Do it on a 1 day, 1 hour time frame. Okay, Prakhar, I didn't get your question. I think it's gone in the chat. Can you, even most of the time breakout fails, although the condition is bullish. Prakhar, the thing is, last 45 days you have to remove from your sample size. Otherwise, breakouts do work if you are taking them in this, if the stock is in this, thingy, you can definitely take advantage of that. So I'll show you one more stock, right, which we booked, Orient. Orient Technologies, right? So it was nowhere near a breakout, but how many of you are able to identify this? Can I have a yes? This is the Diwali pick. Very good technical stock, volume dry up, and then boom, right? So, acha, one more thing. Mid caps, mein you will find more stocks, right? I mean, mid caps, mein, if you will scan, na, so I think you know, I'm not able to understand thing in detail till time. Can I directly use software and do trading? Yes, yes, yes. You can do that. You can just rewatch the video, Mr. Anil. You will understand. You will understand it, in a very, very easy way, right? Just rewatch the video so you'll be able to understand. Now, this is Shobha. Now, this is Pesalo, TV18 Broadcast, GPPL. This is Vijaya Diagnostics. So the hospital segment or hospital sector is doing pretty well. And then just keep scrolling down. आप नीचे नीचे scroll करते जाइए. जब आपको picture perfect clarity का ही मिलेगा. जैसे CCL products, not exactly picture perfect, but good structure over here as well. And then just keep scrolling. You will automatically get your picture perfect setup in front of your eyes. Like for example, this is an eye scan. I'll just keep scanning because if I don't like it in the first 2 seconds I see it, I'll note it. So Ramco was one more, name that I really liked, but due to the market conditions, I had to get all of you out. But hard luck. But the structure was very nice. Like this is also a structure that you can study. Very big base that Ramco had and worked out beautifully. Now this is another Choice International, another stock about to break out from this range. So you can keep that also on your radar. And so on and so forth. See, you have to spend some time, right? If you have to be good at stock selection, you have to spend some time on the charts. And yes, 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 Rakesh. For working professionals, just check out the two scans that we give you on strike. One is the pre-breakout scan and the institutional buying zone scan. All the stocks that are there in my watch list will pop up there. जो भी स्टॉक मेरे वॉच लिस्ट में है वो आएगा. जैसे पीसीबीएल ये मेरे को अच्छा लग रहा है, ये आप देख सकते हो मंडे के लिए. So this is no, this is not ready yet. I want it to break out of this range, and as soon as it will do it, I think there could be. देखो आरएसआई मैकडी का कोई वो नहीं है, कुछ काम नहीं आएगा. मूविंग एवरेजेस का काम ले सकते हो ट्रेड मैनेजमेंट के लिए. सो दैट समथिंग दैट कैन बी गुड. नाउ फॉर एग्जांपल लुक एट दिस पावर मैक. डू यू लाइक इट, डू यू नॉट लाइक इट? गिव मी अ यस और नो आंसर. अब बताओ. अब इससे बेटर क्या आपको मिलेगा? राइट, वेरी गुड हाई, वेरी गुड रिस्क रिवॉर्ड, पूरा volume dry up hai, right? So now these are very very good, very very good structures, right? So 0.25 hours se le lena. अब मे बी अगर मार्केट गैप अप होगा तो यू मे नॉट हैव दैट लिबर्टी टू गेट इन एट द राइट प्राइस. थोड़ा सा ऊपर भी होगा तो ले सकते हो विद अ वाइडर स्टॉप. सी ऑलवेज अंडरस्टैंड, प्रेफर अ trade idea with a wider stop and a decent risk reward with a high probability. Like I would take this trade with a high probability rather than trying to take this trade with a low probability. How many of you are understanding what I'm trying to say? Usually आपका mindset as a trader ऐसा होता है that you like this kind of a trade even if it comes with very low probability of success. How many of you would agree? Like a lot of traders from their mindset point of view, they want to take something like this कि एक का 10 हो जाए, even if it comes at very 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 low probability. I would any day prefer this with a 2 hour or a 2.5 hour risk reward, or even with like a 1.5 hour risk reward, but if it's very high probability. Okay, can you check Centrum? Okay, so I'll just check a few stocks before we wrap up. Centrum Electronics. It's good. It reacted from the order block as well, and this is in a very good basing stage. So I like it. Centrum Electronics is good, and the entire sector, led by Dixon Technologies, is pretty nice. Okay. बीएससी इज गुड. बीएससी तो काफी सॉलिड है. बीसीपी बीएससी कभी भी फट सकता है, और जैसे एनएससी का भी आईपीओ का आने वाला है सिस्टम, तो आई थिंक बीएससी तो विल डू गुड. It's good, but it's a little risky. Why is BSE a little risky? I'll tell you, because there is too much imbalance here, but it will still move. and tell you, right? So definitely. Okay. Voltus not ready yet. Not ready yet. Green panel. Okay. Good. Green panel is also at an order block. Yes, very good. Green panel is good. That's incredible. Okay. I mean, the entry is far gone and it's a very illiquid. There is a liquidity risk. बहुत illiquid stock है. So, Bikaji food. Okay. Okay. This is also nice. This is also good. Yeah. Bikaji is very good. And after such a big ran, monster move that Bikaji had, I think it's a great name. Copran is a risky one, but I'll just check it. I would ignore Copran. I'll tell you why. Copran ka left side is very bad. Like this is post earnings reaction, and that's the reason it has fallen down like that. So ignore it. 1 minute. KPIT also ignore. Ignore, ignore, ignore. Not the best one. Sundaram Finance. You have to wait a little, not exactly at the right place. Suzlon, Paras. Suzlon, avoid. This is also something that is not yet ready. प्राज तो यार ऑलरेडी 15% अप है आई थिंक अब उसमें नया एंट्री तो नहीं मिलेगा 15% अप था प्राज ऑर्डर ब्लॉक रिएक्शन अगेन नॉट द परफेक्ट ऑर्डर ब्लॉक बट ठीक है गुड ऑर्डर ब्लॉक था okay guys too many stocks not be able to scan all of them doms is good ritco I can check this is also decent Sera I had it on my radar I got it out of at cost but I think it can still move based on Gokul. Okay. Last stock I'll check. Pavna Industry. Gokul Refoils. ठीक है. Volume dry up. I think it can still bounce. It's a little risky, but because it's literally tapped at the order block. For you to enter into Gokul, wait for it to cross this. Then it's better. Pavna. Okay. I think it's a micro cap. Uh, wait for it. It needs time. It needs time. This also needs time. Okay. This is okay. Fertilizers are doing good, so I think this stock can move because the industry is good. So I think you can check this. ACI. Okay, not the best, but I think chemical stocks, if they can start doing good. Then Cipla, ignore Glenmark. The reason I'm saying is purely on technicals because both of these are trading at low. The structures are not that great. Bsoft is beaten down because of its earnings. Akhilesh. So like IT में HCL, Tech Mahindra, Mass Tech better than Bsoft, but Birlasoft be like almost order block के आसपास है. So it really had a very bad quarter. Last two quarters are very bad. Tips music. Okay. Oh. Okay. Not ready yet. Biocon. Okay, Biocon is. I think there is some weekly swing idea by some of the analysts in Biocon. It's decent, but I would not say the best. PSB. Weaker than other banks because other PSU banks have done well. Keynes Tech is a very good name, but it's a little extended. Keynes is a little kind of trying to create a faulty structure, so it's a little risky one, but it's still good. PPL Pharma is good. BDL. Oh my God. Okay, so it is actually approaching a very important. Defense stocks are actually approaching nice areas of demand, but you just have to wait for the entire sector to move together, and then I think you will have a good action. IREDA is also at an interesting place. Yes, this can be explored. Okay, last stock I'm doing fin cables. Oh, nice. This is also good. Oh, who said fin cables? Pallavi, good job. Very, very good. I think this is a perfect area for you to buy this. Fin cables. Volume drying up. Yes, the earnings are bad, but I think from a risk reward perspective, you know, it's not at all bad. Okay, this is 9%. This could be a positional play for you, Pallavi. But you can explore it. Kesoram Industries. This has been a big mover. Um, Risk reward is not that great because it has already moved up. So yeah, let me see. UCO Bank. See, PSU banks, I was bullish until this Adani news came out. I was actually bullish on PSU banks. But this Adani wala thing है, ले जाएगा डुबा के. So that's the problem. Kirloskar Brothers. Okay. Yeah, it's good. But for a fresh entry, I don't really see it. Bata. Okay, sorry. Bata is literally at the lowest of the lowest of the lowest order block. Avoid it right now. You'll have better opportunities than this. Okay, final stock for the day, IGPL. Avoid, avoid. Not this thing. Okay, Sonali Polycab. I'll just check. Mm, Polycab fundamentally is a very strong stock. So I need every time it comes to demand, I really like to buy this, but abhi thoda extended hai. So your approach should be like if you have locked in the profits that you had earlier, then just start a fresh SIP. Don't put in lump sum. Now start a fresh SIP and then try to put all that money back for in the next 6 months. Sunil, if you're scanning stocks, just take it with a 0.25 hour or a 0.5 hour trade, right? Just try to take it. Uh, don't worry about the outcome, because unless and until you start taking the trades and they work out and then they make money for you, you'll not really enjoy it, right? So I mean, don't really don't really focus on that. My initial capital is 1 lakh and then trading the markets and now having 90. So current risk will be, yeah, make it based on 90,000, Abhishek. Make it based on 90,000. Adjust it. All right. IGPL avoid करने का reason है that you have better stocks, number one, and number two, the thing is this is not a good displacement, right? इसने previous high तोड़ा ही नहीं है, so that's the reason I don't like this at the moment. All right, okay. So that's a wrap from my side. I have another session, so I'll have to take a leave. Oro Pharma is at a good location. You can in the pharma space, if you want to play this, Oro Pharma is at a decent age. Parag Parekh, Flexi Cap, Quant Mid Cap, and I think index funds you can, but I think all of these are good. Abhi, can we do lump sum 1 to lakh? See, Parag Parekh, Flexi Cap, and Quant Mid Cap is what you can do for lump sum.